What if the person who promised to love you forever was only practicing how to cut you loose? What if the voice that whispered comfort into your nights was a voice selling you a lie? This is not fiction. It's a technique, an emotional con used to steal love, lives, and savings. It's called pig butchering. Tonight, we tell a story that will make you think twice before you press send. Her name was Emily. She was 36, a marketing manager who'd recently left a long marriage. Independent, competent, but lonely. One quiet evening, she opened a dating app. That's where she met Daniel. Daniel was fluent in charm. He was polite, thoughtful, and busy with work, the classic explanation when he couldn't meet. He sent long messages at dawn and texted the perfect meme at midnight. He shared photos of a beach house that wasn't quite finished and sent small, sensitive confessions that made Emily feel chosen. She felt a spark. Someone noticed her. Someone wanted to know her story. The loneliness was over. Days turned into weeks. Daniel listened. He remembered the little things. Her childhood dog's name, the song she hummed while cooking. He checked in. He praised her. He encouraged her to dream again. Then, in an offhand way, Daniel mentioned investing. "I'm building freedom," he wrote. "I flipped some crypto positions and finally bought my family that house." It changed everything for them. "I'm so happy and fortunate that I could do this for them." Emily had never invested. Daniel said he could show her, gently, patiently, and that she could start with just a little. She trusted him. I mean, isn't this the man she's falling in love with? This is the heart of the operation. Pay attention. When the scammer moves from romance to money, they switch scripts and the language is deliberate, yet laced with artificial love, affection, and patience. Here is how these scams start. The brag, where they are establishing themselves as an authority. The scammer will present themselves as independently wealthy or financially successful. "I've been investing for years," they'll say. "I own properties. I trade. I fund startups. I don't have to work if I don't want to." They will show you screenshots, staged bank balances, or doctored trading statements. The goal is to create credibility, to make you believe they know what they're doing because their life looks proof positive. The soft sell, making it feel casual and like something they do every day. Rather than a hard pitch, they frame the opportunity as something personal and intimate. "I wouldn't tell just anyone. I think you'd be good at this. If you want, I can walk you through it." They make you feel special, like you're being let in on a private secret. The safety script to remove any fear or sense of risk. Once you're curious, they use the most powerful lines. "There's no risk, trust me. I'll cover any downside." They'll say they'll insure you, or reimburse losses, or act as a co-signer. Another typical line, "We're family now. I wouldn't let you lose money." The phrase "no risk" is repeated until your wariness softens. The demonstration, fake wins that make you a believer. To close the deal, they stage quick wins. $200 becomes $400 on the app. A fake deposit clears. A screenshot shows profit. These early gains are often fabricated in the app interface or staged on a mock platform to convince you the system works. The escalation, the suggestions of bigger financial commitments. After the initial proof, they encourage larger sums. You could double that if you move $25,000. They stress timing. "This opportunity won't last. Don't miss it. I'll help you every step of the way. Don't worry. I won't let anything bad happen to you. I love you." Finally, when you try to withdraw real funds, you find the app or the website blocks your withdrawals, customer support vanishes, or the platform requires verification fees. The scammer goes quiet or vanishes. You've been bankrolled into a scam economy that exists only to take your money. All of this is a rehearsed play. The line, "I'll cover the downside," is not generosity. It's a strategic, psychological push to disarm fear and create dependence. When someone on a dating app mixes romance with investment promises and insists they'll take on all risk, treat that statement as the alarm bell it is. Here's the full anatomy of the scam. Fake identity. Scammers create believable personas and fake backgrounds. They use stolen photos, AI imagery, or impersonate professionals to build trust. Fattening phase. Through messages, calls, and staged vulnerability, they build deep emotional connections. The victim feels loved and important, a powerful lever of manipulation. The bait. As above, the scammer has made you feel special. Now they claim wealth, offers to teach investing, promises no risk, and shows fake early wins. The slaughter. When the victim has invested significant money, and any withdrawal is prevented, the platform collapses or disappears, and the scammer cuts contact. You've been slaughtered. So, who gets targeted? People recently divorced or widowed, looking for connection. Anyone isolated or emotionally vulnerable. People whose personal data was sold by data brokers. Names, phone numbers, income bands, and relationship status are used to select targets. But why you were targeted? Scammers don't randomly message strangers. They purchase lists, demographic bundles sold by data brokers that tell them who is likely to respond. If your phone number and profile match a buyer's list, you're marketed to repeatedly across platforms until one of those pitches lands. So, how big is the total damage? Globally, losses reach into the billions. I'll say this again, billions. The list of victims are people who were looking for a loving relationship, for a person whom they could trust. In the end, not only have they lost money, but trust and belief in human kindness. In Emily's story, Emily's feelings moved in tracks that anyone can recognize, from excitement to trust to feelings of love. But then it changed dramatically to disbelief, then shame, then a aching question. What could I have done differently? That inner monologue, the replaying of missed signs, the should have known, is part of the trauma. It's important to say this plainly. The fault is not the victims. The perpetrators are skillful manipulators who prey on kindness and hope. Let me share something about us at What We Weren't Told. We don't pretend knowledge alone keeps you safe. We use layered safeguards, and you should too. Below are the 3 most important protections and why they are paramount. 1. Identity removal services. What they do, they scrub and remove your personal details, phone number, email, home address, public records, from data broker sites and people search platforms. Why this matters? Because scammers buy lists. If your information is widely available, you become an easy target. Removing your data reduces how often your name shows up in those purchased lists and limits the number of times you will be solicited. It doesn't make you invisible. It makes you harder to find. 2. Credit monitoring services. What they do, they watch your purchases, credit reports, and financial identity for unusual activity. Unusual purchases, new accounts, credit inquiries, loans, or address changes, and alert you immediately. Why does this matter? If a scammer attempts to make a purchase, open accounts, or take loans in your name, early detection lets you respond quickly, freeze accounts, and prevent long-term damage as well as immediate damage where you are not responsible for the financial transaction or purchase. But speed matters. The sooner you know, the easier it is to limit loss. Without the credit monitoring service, you can be held responsible for the entire financial loss. 3. Scam and fraud insurance, or identity theft insurance. What it does, provides financial reimbursement and assistance if you become a victim, covering costs like legal help, lost funds, depending on policy, and identity restoration services. why it matters. Prevention reduces risk, but no prevention is perfect. Insurance gives you a recovery pathway so one bad incident doesn't ruin your finances or your family's security. It recovers your financial loss, buys time, provides legal and financial resources, and support when you need it most. We've included links below this episode so you can learn more and pick services that fit your needs. These tools are not marketing speak. They're practical, necessary defenses. Thank you for listening to another episode of What We Weren't Told. Tonight, we walked through a common and cruel fraud, the pig butcher's playbook. Romance, then investment, then theft. If you want to protect yourself, use identity removal services to reduce how often scammers find you. Enroll in credit monitoring to detect fraud early. Consider scam/identity insurance to protect your family if the worst happens. Some of these services come at no additional cost, and like I mentioned earlier, we will share who we use. Links to recommended services and resources are below this episode in the show notes. We've vetted these tools because we use them ourselves, and because we believe protection is practical, not optional. If this episode helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. It keeps this show going and helps us bring more stories that matter. Stay vigilant. Stay safe.